So the living from awakeness is really living as authentically as possible in accord and harmony with whatever your deepest understanding is, whatever your deepest realization is. It's can you function from that? Can that lead? And if it doesn't, it's also worth noting what keeps you from that. Where are the places that the self needs to be asserted? For example, people have that, as I mentioned, in their close personal relationships. Family is one of the last places that we're able to work because it's so ingrained. And in families, everybody has their role, their place. And when you begin to move out of that fixed position, the other family members can get uncomfortable and really want you back in your spot, that you're the jokester, you're the deep one, you're whatever role you play, the baby of the family, etc. So this is where we have to start breaking out of the roles, and we do it step by step, so a little at a time. And it's just, one of the helpful ways is just to pause. Like if there's a family dynamic, um, like in my family, it used to be really common when people got together, there would be a lot of humor and joking. And in my process, I began to realize that the joking and the humor were being used to not allow anything serious to land. So, really, as a kind of um, shielding. And so, my approach was initially just to not participate. So, when my siblings would get joking around about things, again, trying to keep anything deep from arising in our conversation, I would just be quiet. I would just observe and just be present. And that in itself was unsettling for some of my siblings that I wasn't participating. And but you start in little ways. Other people, it's their work. They're very identified with the identity at work. So thinking, well, who am I going to be if I don't bring this history and this personality and these anxieties? And so again, you start little by little, by testing the water, finding what's comfortable and seeing where you're uncomfortable. There's no, it's an ongoing journey to be doing this. So it's really trying to live as authentically as possible. And as I sometimes will say, we want our outside to match our inside. So is your realization being represented in your life, or are there ways that you're not doing that? So somebody's watching your behavior, and then there can be investigation. If there's some bad habit you have or some unhealthy functioning you do, to really investigate it when you have the space. Is why is that important to maintain? What does it say about me? Who am I if I don't do this? So a lot of the functioning after awakening is really being open to and allowing the absence of self to be here. So not looking for all the markers of me, all the ways I recognize myself. Our body is one of the big ways we recognize ourself, particularly if somebody is ill or has a medical need. We tend to then drop any of the spiritual orientation and really invest in the body because it gets to a level of survival. And that's mostly what you'll see is when things get to a survival level, that will be where you move into a sense of self more readily than if things are going well and there's a lot of ease and space.